I haven't talked about Casper in a while on this channel, and the main reason why is because I've been waiting for the big announcement of Casper 2.0. Now, do we have that? Not just yet, but I do think that now is probably one of the best times to be focused on Casper because of all of the big updates actually happening behind the scenes for this network. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So at this point, a lot of people have been avoiding Casper. They haven't been really looking into it because, we all know what's been happening, right? Since going all the way back to roughly, October, November, with Prove AI leaving, with the original Casper Association ditching us as well. A lot has happened since then. And I got to be honest with you guys. It's for the better. I think at this point, we got rid of a lot of the, bloat that was there for Casper that was holding it down. And now we're starting to see some very big moves happening. Casper 2.0 is on its way. I don't think that we have to wait that much longer, and I'll talk about why in this video. But first, I actually want to address the chart because let's just be real here. This chart looks like trash. And, a lot of people will look at this chart and say, well, the project is dead. It's done. It's finished. Because, if we go all the way back to this time period, we're coming up on 4 years. 4 years since these prices back here. And at this point, a lot of people think that Casper is just a dead project because even if we zoom out a little bit and let's go all the way back to the bear market lows, this is what the chart looks like. A flat line. Now, I have watched some pretty bearish charts over the past few years within crypto, and I've watched some of them bounce back. I've watched some of them just continue to drop and drop and drop until they just basically die out. I don't think that Casper is one that's just going to die out for many reasons. But I also want to share a very popular project, and I actually want to share with you guys a chart for it. Now, if I shared with you guys this chart as well, and we're going all the way back to 2018, and this is going up to like 2020, and you might say, well, Nick, that was only 2 years. And yeah, sure, it was only 2 years, but this market is a little bit different now. It's not extremely different, but I do think that the time period here is a little bit different. The environment and even, the environment around Casper itself is actually a little bit different. But this is ADA, okay? We all know what happened with ADA after this point, okay? This is what ADA looked like from this point on. It took a little bit of time because this is on the weekly chart. But after a little bit of time, it started to bounce back. It started to gain a little bit more momentum. And then it finally broke out. And this actually led to one of the biggest altcoin winners of 2021. And this is something that I could see happening for Casper if they play their cards right. Now, I'll talk about how that looks, what it looks like, and if we could actually do something like what ADA is doing on the screen right now. And just for reference, ADA ended that bull run off on a massive, and I mean a massive win. Because if we go all the way back and we actually look at the total gain off of the lows of COVID to the top, this was over a 16,000, almost 600% push to the upside. And even going off of like the mid range, this was still over an 11,500% gain. So what's different a little bit about ADA and Casper? Well, number one, ADA did hit a significant low, but it was not a all-time low. It was just by, a hair that it missed an all-time low. But it got pretty close. Casper is at all-time lows, and they're deep all-time lows. They're not, no, like, oh, yeah, it's just like a little bit by a hair or so. No, this is actually a pretty rough all-time low. Now, I will say this, before the Prove AI news and before, all of the, bearish announcements happening back here, Casper was not looking too bad. It looked like it was in a spring formation of a Wyckoff accumulation, chart. But when we think about what's going on here around Casper and around this space, number one, the altcoin market has been extremely bearish. And also, number two, the trade war and the tariffs definitely don't help. But I will say this, I do think that if we can manage to hold these recent lows that we have on this chart, and this is like around roughly like, it's like 3/4 of a penny, right? I would like to hold these lows here so that we can create a, higher low pattern. And how that would look is we kind of just chop against this uptrend and then we finally get that big breakout. We might retest, this resistance level that we did hit back in November and December. We might sell off a little bit and then finally get the big break. That's what we actually want to see on Casper. And that's actually what I personally want to see on Casper going forward. And I do think that this could happen, especially with a lot of the catalysts around Casper growing right now with, Casper 2.0. There's a lot of ecosystem developments happening as well. So, this could definitely be the next move on Casper, especially if we are thinking about alt season hitting very soon, because again, everyone thinks that alt season is not going to happen. But reclaiming this 2.5 cent level will be a huge move. I know that's not going to be a huge move in terms of like, oh yeah, we're going to make so much money. No, it's going to be a huge move to confirm and signal a much larger breakout on this chart. That's the equivalent of ADA breaking over 6.5 cents back in 2020, because this confirmed that we broke over previous resistance from February of 2020 and we reclaimed a support zone from 2019. This would be breaking over resistance, number one, but also reclaiming support from the bear market lows of 2022. That's what I would like to see initially on Casper before we even get ahead of ourselves. After that, then we could look for higher targets. Number one, we could look for roughly like 5.5 cents or so. After 5.5 cents, we really kind of just look at targeting some major resistance levels around like 10 cents. And then we finally go for like the 2021 highs from like November and December of 2021. And then we really kind of look at some of the ICO price swings. But outside of that, we have a lot of work to do. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It's not, the best time positioning for Casper to have a lot of work to do during this market. But I gotta say, Casper is not the only one in the crowd that has lost a very significant amount of momentum and traction at this current point in time. There's actually a lot of altcoins right now trading at or even close to all-time lows. But outside of this, let's actually talk about some bullish things and announcements happening around Casper. Number one, March was a huge month for Casper. You had the Spaces community calls. You had the Casper 2.0 launch on testnet. You had the Phantom Run game is live on Casper Fans, Casper Execution Developer Preview Call, and DeFi Working Group and Validator Connect meeting. And then, of course, Casper Mainnet 4th anniversary. So it wasn't like a massive month, but it was a very good month. And this is showing us that there's still a lot of engagement and still a lot of growth happening around Casper, regardless of the market, performance of, not just Casper, but the entire altcoin market. No matter the price swings, we still see a lot of building and activity happening on Casper, which is very good to see. Now, on top of that, we did get a big update from Decentralized AI Agent Alliance, which was a welcoming to the alliance for Michael from Casper, as well as the Casper Network, as founding members of the Decentralized AI Agent Alliance. Our missions align in the pursuit of decentralization and fostering innovation, excited to collaborate and build the future together. And this is actually very exciting because number one, when Proof AI did leave Casper, everyone was like, all right, well, there goes our AI, part of Casper. No, we still see Casper being a part of the AI push. And we even have the announcement over here in terms of, the Casper Association, Casper Network, joining as well with, of course, Michael. And we have, this is a significant milestone as we unite our missions to drive innovation and decentralization in the tech landscape. Their mission is to foster the development and proliferation of decentralized AI agents through education, activism, research, and events. We believe in a future where individuals have sovereignty, including ownership of their identity and data, and where decentralized projects can leverage AI for better decision-making, transparency, and security. The Casper Network offers an instant finality public blockchain with low transaction costs and an easy to build on platform. Their focus on tokenization and high utility token standards aligns perfectly with the potential of decentralized AI agents to create novel applications and economies as well. And of course, they do highlight Michael's extensive research or experience, and track record of innovation which will be invaluable to our alliance. So again, this is just a huge update. And when we actually think about the members a part of this alliance, we could see some pretty big names from the space, which are going to be working on this with Casper. So I love to see this. I think that this is huge, and I think that it's just another great step in the right direction for Casper. Like I said, these moves are not going unnoticed from my point of view. I think everyone should still be paying attention to Casper. Even if you did flip bearish on it, or maybe you're not, believing in Casper anymore, you should focus on what they're actually doing here, because they have been making a lot of strides. Now, they also did get listed on Pionex. We talked a little bit about it, but it's a very small exchange, but it's still a good, exchange to see some more exposure for Casper. I do think that there's going to be a lot more T1 listings for Casper. They still are listed on Bybit, which is a massive exchange. It's actually rallying against Binance, OKX, BitGet, Mexi, Gate.io, KuCoin, Crypto.com. I mean, these are massive exchanges with a lot of volume, a lot of users, and a lot of exposure to, just the overall trading space for users. But outside of that, we did hear back from Michael in March, towards the end of March, that the Casper Network team is working with exchanges on getting ready for Casper 2.0 around the clock. And he did drop us an insight into all of the major exchanges that they were actually in conversation with during that time. And we did get an update on this. We have here Uphold is ready for Casper 2.0. KuCoin is ready for Casper 2.0. Bit2Me is ready. Bitvavo is ready. And then, of course, we did see BitGo get ready as well, where Michael did say, great to see the world's leading custody provider complete their integration with Casper 2.0. This is great news, not just for their users, but also for the numerous institutional holders and crypto exchanges that rely on BitGo's integration with Casper Network. And then also we did see Crypto.com say that they were ready. And also Casper.live was ready. And then I also did make a post on the 17th, so just recently, saying that Casper 2.0 is almost here. I can't wait to see what Casper achieves going forward. I really think everyone that has given up on Casper is now, ignoring it and will soon regret it, because I do think that they will, right? I saw this back in 2020 with ADA. I saw it even with Algorand recently, because, Algorand is also another project. If we actually go down the list and look into Algorand right now, I know that it's still in the top 100. Here we go. So recently, Algorand also did hit an all-time low. If we actually look at this chart, this was all-time lows during 2023. Now, a lot of people thought that Algorand was dead then. And if we actually look at this did start to break out. It did hit about 61 cents. These were levels that we actually didn't see since going all the way back to 2022, and prior to that, 2020. So Algorand is still in the game. They're still building. They're still a very large player. And during that time, if you actually looked into Algorand, it was actually a great opportunity. And today, I still think that it's still a great opportunity to, be focused on Casper. Now, why do I think that Casper 2.0 will probably launch before, the end of this month? Maybe just like the first half of May. I think that we're so close because of this announcement, which was from, Halborn Security. We have here, we're delighted to announce that we have successfully completed our security assessment for Casper Network 2.0. Casper 2.0, the biggest upgrade of Casper Network to date, is built for the real-world economy, securing asset ownership and sensitive data while delivering secure, upgradable, and interoperable infrastructure for a more transparent and trusted digital future. Usually when you get an audit like this, and when that audit is completely finished, it means that we are in the last stage of a big upgrade like this. I do think that Casper 2.0 is going to be launching very soon. And Casper themselves actually did highlight this, saying a very exciting and important update. The Halborn Security's Casper 2.0 protocol upgrade audit is complete. Casper 2.0 is on the horizon, and we will be sharing an update on when Casper 2.0 will move from testnet to mainnet very soon. Stay tuned. Now, this was on the 17th. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of this month, first half of May at the latest, that we get a big update about this. And again, I think that this upgrade, and a lot of people actually overlook this about ADA during this time actually announced a big upgrade to the network. I think that this upgrade could set everything into motion and be a major catalyst for Casper. We have to watch, wait, and see. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves here. But I still think that Casper is going to surprise a lot of people in terms of, the price performance and what they actually do achieve as a network, and the updates that we will probably see after the fact around Casper 2.0, because I do think that this will lead to major exchange listings, major ecosystem growth, and expansion as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on, because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.